Today, we are going to talk about the bonds that hold the hair together in more detail. And you're going to have a pretty visual as you watch. So make sure you are subscribed here to my channel, turn on those post notifications, and let's get into it. What you are watching is hair that is covered in sebum. Sebum is the natural substance that secretes out of the scalp, and we'll talk about that again in a second. But right now, I am getting ready to part off her highlights, and I'm using a weaving technique. And what we are doing is blurring some of these lines of demarcation from her previous color job, right? I'm using Joico in this video, and I'm not using Olaplex in this video, not because there's anything wrong with Olaplex. I have been in this industry for over 15 years, and I've used every bond reconstructor you can think of. Olaplex is just my favorite. Does that mean that other ones aren't good? No, that doesn't, but I can only use one, and Olaplex is the one that I chose. But Joico Defy Damage is also a great one. But let's talk about what we're doing with hair color. Your hair has 3 different layers. The cuticle layer, that's when we're talking about porosity, low porosity, high porosity, and medium porosity. And then we have the cortex of the hair shaft, which is the part of the hair shaft that I'm dealing with right now. The cortex is where the bonds live, right? The salt bond, the disulfide bond, and the hydrogen bond, right? That's where they all live. And it's also where the melanin lives. So when I'm doing this coloring process, what I'm doing is a certain process to remove certain levels of pigment and put certain levels of pigment in. I just want you to peep game. I've been using Kimbra since the very beginning of my career, the very beginning. And the only time I wasn't using Kimbra was when I had my own product line. And when I stopped my product line, back to Kimbra. Just a little sidebar. But now the only thing that is in her hair is Kimbra's leave-in conditioner. That is it, and that is all. And now I'm round brushing her hair. Now I want you to understand that, for one, her hair was detangled before her hair was before the color was put in, before anything ever happened. Her hair was detangled. And then what you watched me do was comb her hair. There's a difference between combing and detangling. The word tangle, right, means for something to be like intertwined, interlocked with each other, right, knotted in some way. And to detangle is to remove those knots and tangles, right? So you do that on dry hair. That's where the concept of oil treatment came from, right? If somebody had really, really matted hair, the last thing you're going to do is wet it, because all that's going to do is paralyze the hair by breaking the hydrogen bond, and it'll make the hair matte even faster. So you would get a hot oil treatment, and that would soften the hair and make it easier for you to separate the hair strands. All right, so that's something that I really, really want you to think about. But there is a difference between combing and detangling, and because her hair was already detangled first, and then I combed the product through her hair, the leave-in conditioner through her hair, I can now use a tension method with this round brush to stretch her hair and set this hydrogen bond temporarily. Like the picture that keeps popping up on the screen says, the hydrogen bond is the bond that is set temporarily by hair, Lord, by different styling practices, but it's broken with water, right? So you can set the hydrogen bond with water, and you can break the hydrogen bond with water, and that is the process that we're following right now, right? She has a beautiful thick hair, and as you guys have seen so far on my channel, a lot of you are new here. These are really, really old videos that I'm reposting so I can give you guys a visual representation of what I'm saying when I do my regular talking head videos, right? But I have been going through all of my videos to find relaxers, and I know I promised you guys I would have some relaxer videos coming. Other than pixie cuts, I literally have only been able to find one video where I did a relaxer on a client because I didn't specialize in relaxers. My specialty was naturally curly hair, right? Virgin hair of all types, but it's almost like in my head it's hard for me to break myself out of because it's been going on for so long to say the term natural hair. No, I always thought either virgin hair or chemically processed hair. So for me, if as a professional, if I was to describe her hair texture, right, I would say that her hair is high porosity, not because of the color, but because her hair is a low porosity. And even after the color, right? Even after the color, her hair was low porosity. And proof of that, you guys, is her hair in that section is staying wet for a little minute. All right. It's still wet over there. And then on top of that, you guys, on top of that, when I'm straightening her hair, I cannot use a whole bunch of oils and stuff like that. Like if I put oils and stuff on her hair, or even I don't even use oils, so if I use too much serum on her hair, it would be a stringy mess. And that is because low porosity hair has a cuticle that's tight, and people are under the impression that just because you have color, or just because you have a relaxer, or just because you have chemically treated hair, that you automatically have high porosity hair, and that is not true. All right, because again, if I was to put color on her, any like oil or anything on her hair, it would literally just sit there. So you'll see that a little bit more as we go along. Her hair is really, really thick, but at the same time, her porosity and other things of that nature are different. Now, I'm just going through and spraying in heat protectant all over her hair, and again, just combing through. I don't tell you guys you can't comb your hair. I say don't detangle your hair wet. There's a difference. All right, so now I'm going through and we are going to flat iron her hair, and I'm using a heat protectant like I just said, from Kimra. I have been using Kimra again for forever. All right, I love the product line. The bottles always match the aesthetic of my rooms, like, because I always had like private studios, and it will always match my aesthetic because I will always have like silver brushes, so like the silver, pink and white, that was always my vibe, right? But anywho, I didn't go all the way down like in the back with her highlights. It was just partial highlights in the front to like camouflage that line of demarcation. So by you looking at the back, you can see the difference once we get to the top where those partial highlights were. Like don't get me wrong, like her color in the back is cute. It's cute and stuff. It's cute, but it had grown out because at this point I haven't been doing hair for a long time, for like a couple of years. But I was doing this thing for Joyco. So I was like, hey boo, you want to come in? And so she ended up coming in, but I have been doing her hair for years, and her hair is extremely beautiful and extremely healthy, you guys. I really want you guys to understand that you don't have to just wear your hair one way. You can wear your hair, and when I say one way, I don't mean like, oh, you can just wear a whole bunch of hairstyles. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, oh, I can only wear my hair curly. Like, no, you can experience your hair curly, blown out or you know what I mean, with a flexi rod set, with a perm rod set. You have so many options. All right. check the link in the description box below so you can watch the full live lecture that I did on the different options that you have. But the reality of it is that is what is going on the scalp. Your body is a city, and by you adding oils and butters and grease and stuff like that to the scalp and to the hair, slathering the hair in product, you disrupt the processes that go on in the city that is your body. So these are the things that you need to remember. This is why you could go to the same hairstylist for years, and every time you go back, you have single strand knots and you have to get more and more and more hair cut off. It's because the practices in between the appointments are not good, and that is the issue. But she is a client of mine that it didn't matter when I saw her hair was always healthy. Always healthy. And in this video, I'm also going to demonstrate to you guys what a trim is. I think that people are so creeped out and so freaked out because over the last 12 years, that's how long Team Natural has been going on, and a lot of women that are on YouTube, even making YouTube videos, are under 27. So Team Natural is literally all they know. They don't know any other form of hair care other than what the Team Natural community passed around. So I want you to broaden your horizons and open your mind to the part of the hair care industry, or the part of hair care in general that includes the science of the human body. Because at the end of the day, your hair is a fiber that is created in your gut and protruding out of a follicle that is poking out of a pore on your scalp. And so by the time you see the hair, that's it. So here on the screen, what you guys are seeing is what the beauties within the 7-day challenge have to say about their sebum production. But across the board, we can't let go of grease and oils and oil packing and oils and butters and all of this, because products have been pushed at you and thrown in your face forever. But this is the sebaceous gland, and that's sebum, and sebum is attached to the hair shaft before the hair shaft ever protrudes out of the pore. You do not need oils and butters on the scalp, right? And again, we're going to talk about trims in a minute, but the more you become familiarized with your body and your body's natural patterns and systems and routines, you'll find yourself not even really watching certain types of content because you won't need to. And if you do, you'll only be watching it for entertainment, because you'll understand your body, you'll understand the science of the human body and how to troubleshoot, right? So again, what we are doing, all I'm doing is going through her hair with a flat iron. We're now approaching the color that we did, because remember, we only put the color like at the top. And again, this is something that my clients would do just to get like a really good like refresher. I do not know what happened to the clip of me flat ironing the rest of her hair. I really don't know what happened. I don't know. But now I'm just going around, and as you can see, trimming her hair is very, very easy, very simplistic, all right? And I want you to know that I'm not saying that the only way that you can wear your hair is flat ironed. That's not what I'm saying. This is a beauty that you guys always see at this point from the 7-day challenge, and this is her hair in a flexi rod set. I absolutely love the beauties in the 7-day challenge. That's why I'm always talking about it, because if y'all don't see me here on YouTube, I'm always in there. We're always talking, right? But as you can see, as I'm trimming her hair, it is exactly that, a trim. When you get a trim on a regular basis, it's not a haircut. There is a very big difference between a trim and a haircut, guys. And this is something that I really, really want everybody to know and understand. If you are getting a trim every 10 weeks, you won't notice it. It's not a haircut. It won't be a bunch of hair on the floor. Unless you're just going to a hairstylist that don't like you, which that's your fault. You should feel her energy and you should go to somebody who like you. If you're getting hair cut off, a lot of hair cut off every time you go, most likely it's because your hair is damaged. So it's time to really sit down, take some accountability, and look at some of your patterns. Like, what are your patterns? How are you wearing your hair? How are you tying your hair up? What are the different things that you could be doing to your ends that are causing breakage? These are the things that I really, really want you to think about, because as you begin to think about these things, then you can once again troubleshoot. That's one of the best parts about the challenge. You end up being able to sit down and troubleshoot and understand, okay, this is where I made a mistake and I can replace this piece with this. That's all I'm trying to get everybody to see and understand, right? Next, I don't use edge control. I'll just spray like a holding spray or something like that on my comb that have teeth that are super close together, just to comb the hair back. I'm not one of those cosmetologists that use heavy edge controls. I did at one point of my career, but then once I began to go to school and get certain certifications, and once I got in a certain degree program, I was like, oh, I should probably stop using edge control. You know what I mean? So that's something that I really, really, really want you guys to think about, right? Again, as you can see, I'm not putting a bunch of oil and stuff like that on her hair. No oil sheen, because I'm guessing you could imagine that if I was to just take some coconut oil, or if I was to take some almond oil on my hands, even just a little drop, and put it on her hair would be a stringy mess. It would sit directly on top of her hair shaft, and that's not something that I want. So I love, love, love the way her hair color came out. It reminds me of like a little caramel, like Twix, you know what I mean? So yeah, guys, I really hope that this video made sense. Also, let me know in the comments below if you want me to go live on Amazon with you guys, showing you a couple of my favorite bond reconstructors. Like I said, Olaplex is #1 for me, but this is the one that Joico has, and as you can see, it turned out beautiful. Her hair looks freaking amazing. I love, love, love how beautiful her hair is, and it always looks like this. Like I said, I did her and her daughter's hair for years. Her daughter's hair is even thicker, so let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see her daughter's hair. If I'm not mistaken, her daughter was here this exact day, the same day, or her daughter either came the next day. I don't know. I'm pretty sure her daughter came the next day, because I don't think we would have had her daughter sitting in there that long while she was getting color. But yeah, anywho, let me know in the comments what you think about her hair and what you think about her hair color. And again, the line of demarcation, when you look at it visually now with the partial highlights at the top, you can't see it. So again, I'm gonna have a color course coming. People ask me about color all the time in the comments, but color is very complex and I don't teach it here on YouTube, because you know, these days you have to protect your intellectual property. Some people's whole entire channel is about just looking at other people's content and commenting on it. So that's why my intellectual property is only over on my website. So make sure you check the links in the description box below for everything that you need, all right? Because I have everything broken down into playlists to make it really, really easy for you to get all of the information that you need. But again, let me know what you think, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.